Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank God who has been giving us blessings and mercies so we can listen to speeches in a good condition. I also want to thank the master of school for giving me the opportunity to deliver a speech as a school practical exam. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Velen Novanti from 12 Science 1 number 34. Pada kesempatan kali ini, saya akan menyampaikan pidato mengenai pelestarian budaya Indonesia. Seperti yang sudah kita ketahui, Indonesia adalah negara yang dikenal dengan keanekaragamannya. Ratusan bahkan ribuan kelompok etnis tinggal di Indonesia. Budaya Indonesia ini memang sangatlah kaya. Namun ada berapa banyak sih budaya yang bisa kita sebutkan di antara sekian banyak budaya Indonesia? Mungkin jawaban kita hanya bisa dihitung dengan jari. Sungguh ironis, tapi itulah kenyataannya. Kita generasi penerus bangsa malah terkesan cuek dengan budaya kita sendiri. Lalu bagaimana dengan nasib kelestarian budaya jika generasi penerusnya bersikap acuh atau tidak peduli? Before we learn ways to preserve culture, we have to know in advance about what is included in Indonesian culture. Indonesia is a vast and diverse nation with a rich and vibrant history that spans centuries. It is important for the Indonesian people to remain aware of their own culture. Ways to learn Indonesian culture can be done through books, museums, festivals, and art performance. One example of an art performance is Nirwana Nusantara, which was recently held by SMA Regina Pacis. This art performance saw various kinds of traditional songs, traditional clothes, and their integration with the modern culture. This festival not only bring people together, but also help to celebrate and honor the country's culture. By actively engaging in cultural activities, from celebrating traditional festivals to learning ancient dance or playing traditional instruments, we can understand more deeply about Indonesian culture. And after getting to know our own culture, Indonesian culture, of course we have to preserve it. But how do we actually preserve it? I take an example that is close to our daily life, such as school. Providing access to educational resources about Indonesian history and culture is a great way to ensure that it is not forgotten. Schools, libraries, and other educational institutions should be encouraged to include resources about Indonesian culture in their curriculum. To ensure that Indonesian culture is preserved, the government should make a proactive effort. This could involve giving money to programs that concentrate on preserving artifacts and cultural knowledge or giving tax to people who support in the conservation of historic sites. The government may also create a law or safeguard to the uniqueness of Indonesian culture, such as indigenous language or traditional craft. And not only domestically, conservation can also be done internationally. The interaction of cultures between Indonesian and people from other nations is very important. This may include organizing cultural exchanges between Indonesian students and their colleagues overseas, or encouraging international tourists to join the Indonesian people in celebrating traditional festivals. This kind of interaction can serve to educate other civilizations about Indonesia's distinctive culture while also promoting understanding and admiration of Indonesian culture. Globalization makes it easier for us to recognize and promote Indonesian culture abroad. Advanced information communication technology must be utilized as much as possible to promote our culture in order to preserve it. This can imply producing movies about conventional ways of living and cultural artifacts, or offering platform for Indonesian artists to exhibit their works. Even in the face of globalization, such action can help to ensure that Indonesian culture is not abandoned. Nah, keragaman budaya yang telah diberikan Tuhan sebagai anugerah bangsa Indonesia harus kita jaga dengan sepenuh hati. Kita anak-anak muda sebagai generasi penerus bangsa harus melestarikan warisan budaya bangsa Indonesia agar tidak terlupakan. Sayang sekali ya kan jika keunikan dan keragaman Indonesia ini terlupakan dan tergantikan oleh budaya lain. Teknologi dan komunikasi bukan menjadi halangan, namun dapat dijadikan sebagai kekuatan dalam mempromosikan dan melestarikan budaya Indonesia. Oleh karena itu, marilah kita sebagai generasi penerus bangsa dengan semangat menjaga kelestarian budaya Indonesia. And probably that is enough on the speech that I can deliver. I hope that after listening to my speech, many people will begin to realize how important it is to preserve Indonesian culture. I'm sorry if there are sentences or words that offend you. Thank you for your attention.